From the Earthship Studio in Brisbane, Australia.
Well, I think I believe that people should be able to, if they chose to, go and live in a tent or go and live in an Earthship, if they wanted to. I mean, a lot of the reasons I couldn't go and build an Earthship out in the suburbs or an Earthship out somewhere is more to do with the government than the market.
That's
because
right.
they'd probably try and send me a bill for some property tax, and if I didn't pay it, they'd come and demolish my Earthship and put me in jail. So you managed to build that here without having to go through any planning permission kind of things?
I just approached the Brisbane City Council and they said, we don't need to get involved. What we have here is a shed. And inspired by that old dude at the uni, Mr. Mike Reynolds, and then seeing his film, well, I guess I could see its potential and kind of echo the words from The Garbage Warrior that human beings are on like a collision course, if you will, with the reality of the planet. Financial systems, government systems, environmental systems, religion, employment, all the things he goes through, poverty, education, media, mathematically, it just doesn't add up. It's an unstable future.
So I think that a lot of these problems will be self-correcting.
Okay.
Like if you look back in history, we get around things like we have these famines, like what's the one, the Black Plague?
Yeah.
All these people died and it turned out to be really good.
Whoa, wait. Were you saying like for the benefit of the herd, sometimes like a cull is necessary?
Yeah, I think apparently there was like an economic boom after that because I guess there was less people and more resources to share around that small amount of people. Not that those, and then I guess in a way, Darwinian style, the more sick people didn't live and the more hardy people did, people with better immune systems.
Yeah.
I think people's lives are way too easy in the modern world. Everyone runs around in air conditioning, in their vehicles. No one ever walks anywhere anymore.
Yeah.
And everyone's getting really unhappy and sick from it. And they're really busy complaining about small, trivial matters.
Yeah.
When, say, climate change is a big issue, they're too busy complaining about minor things.
Yeah.
And the health problems that they're causing themselves by not walking anywhere, that there's no time to focus on big matters.
I agree that the general populace is distracted by daft stuff. I don't have to list it off. The punters already know what those things are. In my mind, the Earthship is like a positive step in the right direction.
Well, yeah. So you're building a prototype.
Yeah.
For, say, there's like multiple futures.
Yeah.
There's the future where there's no power and society breaks down. That could just be from wars and people fighting about political issues, or an economic collapse, which is very possible after seeing 2008, and we're due for another recession now. So I think one of the problems is it hasn't even got nearly where it needs to get yet in terms of difficulty for people's lives. Yeah. And then ever since we left the gold standard, all of this fake money printing, like, it hasn't made anyone happier. So hopefully we don't have to have another war, but some kind of reset where all of this fake money gets pulled back in and we have to go back to some kind of value.
A reset, yes, and without wanting to sound too pat, that word reset for most people will actually mean some pretty dark times. People in urban living, daily costs and infrastructure costs will inflate, I believe, beyond their reach. Look, I think collapse is just a natural part of evolution. The reset that you talk of. And airships, in my view, are just part of the alternatives to deal with that, teaching a different skill set for the people.
That's not really an option for a lot of people.
That's true.
Obviously, you have the option to build an Earthship, and you've done that in the suburbs here.
Yeah.
So what caused you to want to do that?
Well, if you know anything about mental health for an individual, it always goes back to the child's first 10 years of their life, the sift. What we call the sensations, images, feelings, and thoughts of that time. I was pretty lucky and had a good experience from that time, I have to say. And look, after watching the Garbage Warrior film, I think Mike Reynolds is probably on the same page. And that is that there was this thing called the spirit of the 60s. The youth movement of that time marked a new beginning for everyone. It was based on connection, equality, culture, race, the living planet. John Lennon himself told us to surrender to the void. We were no longer females and males. We were soul sisters and soul brothers. And freedom. There is a type of freedom discussed in the campfire scene of Easy Rider, iconic 60s film. And I believe it's the same freedom that old Mike Reynolds talks about in his film. Pretty cool stuff, and dare I say, relevant to the now.
Turn off your mind, relax and float downstream. It is not dying. It is not dying. Lay down your thoughts.